Welcome to the Butterfly Effect. I'm Chris Horner. This is the prologue for Tour of Romandie 2022. Now, when I came here in my days with Lotto, I raced 2 times, both in 2006 and 7, and both time I was race leader here at Tour of Romandie. One time winning the stage, one time holding the race leader's jersey all the way up until the last stage with the time trial finishing out Romandie. Here though, when we start with a 5-kilometer course, it's not a crazy technical course like they had back in my day. Many times here at Romandie, they're like doing a really technical through parts of the old towns and then just real steep descents, real hard climbs, and then fast power for the last 2 kilometers into the finish. Today's a bit different though. They're going to be racing on an airport strip, and it's only 5 kilometers long, a little bit hair longer than what I remember the courses back in my day, but not by much. And so the only technical parts about today's stage is a few chicanes around about the middle of the stage, and then at the finish of the stage, it gets really technical when you're coming into the line with about 200, 400 meters to go when we start racing through the switchbacks and the hard lefts and rights coming into the finish line of today's race. Now, when the racing starts, it's Max Schachmann, Bora Hansgrohe, that's in the hot seat. He did a solid time, and in his interview, he's quite excited because he's missed a lot of the season here of 2022 because of COVID issues. So when he comes back here at the first prologue stage at Tour of Romandie, when you do a solid result and you put yourself in the hot seat, it's a good feeling. I can tell you many times throughout my career, because of injuries or sickness, when you miss a month, when you miss 2 months, when you miss 5 months of the season, and you come back and you show the team right away that you're on form, it lifts the spirits up quite a bit, and you can see that in the interview with Max Schachmann. Now, he'll hold the hot seat just for a little bit of time, as it's Mateo Sobrero for Bike Exchange that comes through and relieves Max Schachmann's time. Now, this is a little bit crazy because their time ends up being identical. So throughout the stage, at one point in time, they have Mateo as the race leader, and then they switch it back to Max Schachmann. We'll have to wait to the end of the stage to figure out who is going to be the higher ranked rider here at the end of the prologue stage at Tour of Romandie. Now, when we get further into the race, Felix Großschartner, another Bora Hansgrohe rider that takes the hot seat. Now, Bora Hansgrohe got a little bit of a dilemma there because they got 2 riders at a solid position here in the prologue, but we still got some more racing to come. Now, next up that crosses the line is going to be Ethan Hayter, Team Ineos. And he's 9 to 10 seconds faster than the Bora Hansgrohe Felix Großschartner. This was a fast time from Ethan Hayter. And remember, this prologue is only 5 kilometers long. Now, there's still some more big favorites back there to leave the ramp because, of course, we got Jumbo-Visma's Rowan Dennis back there. When Rowan Dennis crossed the line, he's 4 seconds slower than Ethan Hayter. There's still some hope when I'm sitting on the couch to see if there's some more drama left here at the prologue because, remember, Geraint Thomas, Ineos, the teammate of Ethan Hayter, still has not crossed the finish line to figure out whether or not if Ethan Hayter can win today's prologue stage. Geraint Thomas is out on the course, and remember, he won here last year, so he shouldn't be coming here for training. Geraint Thomas' form normally starts hitting about 100% when we're talking about here at Romandie, Dauphiné, and Swiss. So with the Basque Country, with the Classics finishing, with the form of Geraint Thomas, hopefully we're going to see an on-form Ineos rider here with Geraint Thomas. When he crosses the line, though, 10 seconds down on his teammate Ethan Hayter for fourth place on today's stage. First place, Ethan Hayter blazed the pedals, set a fast time throughout today's stage, and got a spectacular prologue win here. For Ethan Hayter, this has got to be one of his biggest wins. I know he has other wins back there. He has national championship, time trial championship wins too. But when you look at the prologue here at Tour of Romandie, when you look at the field, when you consider the World Tour level, this is an important race. Probably, I would say, his biggest victory so far in his young career. But now remember, when we go forward, when we look at tomorrow's stage, because it's 180 kilometers, a bumpy affair for all the riders. At this point in time, Team Ineos, Ethan Hayter, he has to be realistic with where his form is. Now, we really don't know, and he might not know if he's capable of winning here at Tour of Romandie, but Geraint Thomas, who won here last year, we know he has the ability to win back-to-back Tour of Romandie's from last year and this year. So both riders have to be completely honest. And the Ineos managers, they're in a bit of a dilemma. Now, when I was here doing it for Romandie, and that's why I brought the jerseys up here in 2006 when I was riding for Lotto, and I won the stage. The mountain stage was in the race leader's jersey. As I'm driving home in the team car, the managers are saying, now it's clear you're the race leader here for Lotto. I'm sitting in the back seat, and I had to say, guys, I'm not the race leader here. Cadel Evans is. This is the same scenario that Ethan Hayter is going to be in at this point in time. He's did a dominating display here at today's Prologue, but can he win? Can he go over these mountains and win? Does he have the experience to know exactly where his form is? In 2006, I had it. I was there. I was suffering to make it over the mountains. And when I made it over the mountains in a group of about 15, it was a tactical attack at the right moment. I jumped away clear. I was able to solo and win the stage and get the jersey. But again, when I'm sitting in the Lotto car driving back home, I'm talking to the directors. I'm saying, no, Cadel is our race leader. I saw him at today's stage. He's spectacular. I won just with tactics, and that's it. So when we go into tomorrow's meeting, we make sure it's clear with all the riders on the team. Cadel is race leader here, even though I'm in the yellow jersey. At this point in time, Ethan Hayter, remember, he's going to be much younger than I was. I was 35 years old. I'd raced a long time. I'd already gone over the mountain stages and knew I was 10th or 15th best guy in the field here at Tour of Romandie amongst the GC guys. So it was clear for me to make it clear to the managers that we're racing for Cadel Evans. Now, there's a bit of a dilemma here when you're talking about the Ineos managers because Ethan Hayter's young, loves to race at the back of the peloton all the time. So now he has to be at the front for sure on tomorrow's stage one and all the way through the finish here at Tour of Romandie. And the other problem that Ineos is going to have is Garrett Thomas 100% on form here? Does he have the form from last year's, or is he still here for training like he talks about at the Basque Country? Ridiculous in my opinion if you talk about going to the Basque Country for training, but those were the interviews that Garrett Thomas was given. So when you're Team Ineos, when you're Ethan Hayter and that young, can he know at this point in time whether or not if he can make it over these climbs with the best riders in the world here at Tour of Romandie? That's a big question and a big dilemma for Ineos. When we're looking at tomorrow's stage, if they don't have it figured out on who's going to be the race leader, it could put Ineos in a bad position if Garrett Thomas has to ride the last part of these upcoming stages for Ethan Hayter and then he blows on one of the finishing climbs here at Tour of Romandie. Now, behind when we look at the other groups, Rowan Dennis sitting second on the general classification right now. You got to add his name in as a GC favorite here to win Tour of Romandie. And remember, when we look further down on Jumbo-Visma, Sepp Kuss is way down on the general classification. Steven Kruijswijk isn't there on the general classification. So for Jumbo-Visma, if Rowan Dennis comes up to me and I'm the director and he says, I can win here, I'm going full in with the Rowan Dennis to be able to win here at Tour of Romandie. Remember, this at a week-long race is right in his wheelhouse to be able to make it over these climbs and go to the last individual time trial and wrap up Tour of Romandie here for a spectacular win. So Ineos have to be able to stay with Rowan Dennis on the climbs, and Ineos have to figure out really quick, I'm talking about tonight and certainly before tomorrow's race, if it's going to be Garrett Thomas or Ethan Hayter that they're racing for here at Tour of Romandie. And Ethan Hayter has to not be riding at the back of the peloton anymore. And then you got to ask yourself, if you can ride at the front because you're wearing the race leader's yellow jersey, why can't you ride at the front the rest of the year if you're Ethan Hayter? Those are the questions you want to watch on tomorrow's stage one here at Tour of Romandie. Hope you guys like my take here on the butterfly effect. Make sure you guys like and subscribe, and I'll see you for stage one on the butterfly effect tomorrow.